Hello, friends. How are you? Hope you're well. Welcome to Reads and Eats. My name is Fiona. I hope you've had a good week. Mine started off really hectic. In some ways, do I think it's my own fault? Probably. In other ways, I think it's there was a typo, which was not good, and I didn't double check. So Monday morning, I was feeling right. Okay, great. Need to get on to net. Right, I was writing some book reviews that had to be written for publishers and authors, which was fine. Went on to NetGalley because a couple of them were from there, and got them all done. And then just looked at my shelf and thought, okay, I've got 3 to go. One's not due till next October, and then I looked at it more closely, and it was like, no, the book was published on the 10th of October this year. I was being archived yesterday, and I was like, blast. That wasn't my work. That wasn't what I said, but never mind. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I don't really want to default, as it were. So, yeah, I'm one of these folk that likes to have, or likes to do their NetGalley reviews kind of within a month of, a month before publishing sort of thing, so that word is out there sort of thing. So it was like, right, okay, what have I got on this afternoon? Got nothing on. And Mum and Dad, bless them, went, you just read the book, we'll deal with dinner. I'm like, thank you so much. So I started I think about 1:30 Monday afternoon, and I got it finished at 10 o'clock Monday night. And then I didn't sleep that night because my brain was just, and I was like, oh. So, but I got it done, so that was good. And then wrote the review for it wrote the review for it Wednesday. So I was like, oh, I got it done, which was good, but it was just not the way I wanted the week to go, if that makes sense. Tuesday was fine. Wednesday, I just had a very, very quiet day. Tuesday I had glass lessons, so that was good. Really enjoyed that. Although I felt like a half shut knife. It was like, but it was fine. Wednesday, I had the house to myself, so I had loads of plans. I'm going to do this, that, the next thing. Did that materialise? I had a very, very quiet Wednesday. Wrote that book review, and then I did some cross stitch. I was finishing off, or trying to do more work on a cross stitch piece that I'm making into a bauble for my other half's Christmas. And got a really good chunk of work done on it. I was really chuffed with that. And then I'd sort of come up with an idea that, I wonder if that'll work, and tried it out. And it was successful. So alright. So yesterday I cut out another 2 pieces. So what I've done is I've got holly leaves. I used a cookie cutter, and I just drew around it and cut the pieces out, then sewed them together. I actually did a vein in the middle. I know they don't really have veins, but I put one in. Doing back stitch, and then just sewed round it, just using like very small stitches. Stuffed it with with like toy wadding, and then finished sewing it, and then did blanket stitch round it. So I've done one. I've got a second one to do yesterday after I'd finished the cross stitch, which was great. I then did the veining on it, so I've just got to sew it together and stuff it. And my thought process is to sew them together at the sort of where the sort of the base of the leaf is, with a ribbon, and then I've got some like very, very small, about the size of my pinky nail, if even not smaller than that. Excuse the dry cuticles, by the way. Just hot glue them onto it, and then there's a hanging decoration for his tree. So yeah, so that's kind of what I was doing yesterday. I had yoga yesterday morning, and it was superb. Loved it. And my yoga teacher was telling me she's doing like a couple of, like, I think November, December restorative yoga sessions, and it's like, instead of using a yoga mat, you use a sheepskin rug or sheepskin blanket, and it's just like 6 moves, just candles playing or candles flickering, some nice music. The yoga studio's warm, and then afterwards there's hot chocolate, and I'm like, sign me up. Sign me up for this. This sounds so good. So yeah, so that's kind of been my week so far. So it's been after the hectic start, it's sort of mellowed out, which has been lovely. Reading wise, 1, 2, 3 read. Gosh, that's good. Well, 1 finished basically, 3 and 2 others read. So that's not bad. But I'm going to start off with the hectic book. So that was called Mistletoe Magic in the Highlands by Bella Osborne. Came out, as I say, the 10th of October. We meet Olivia, and Olivia thinks she's found the perfect man. This man called Fraser Douglas. And actually, I've just realised that's actually very clever. Yes, very, very clever. That is very, yeah. A play on a Douglas fir. Douglas Fraser, or Fraser Douglas. That is a Fraser fir and Douglas fir. That is very good. That is clever. That's a good one. Anyway, Fraser, she thinks, is the perfect man. He is about to open up a restaurant in a hotel in Loch near Fort William, and he loves Mariah Carey. They've got a lot of things in common, and they have been texting back and forth on Tinder or one of these dating apps. And then suddenly he ghosts her. And this is not the first person to ghost her. And she lives with her sister, she's having a wallow date, but her sister like, that, we're not having this. And her sister pulls in her mum. And the two of them kind of get revved up about this. To the point that she's like, right, I'm going to confront him. And her sister goes, well, your Fiesta's not going to make it. Here, take my BMW. Because they live near the Blackburn. So she drives all the way to the fort and to the hotel. And, as the closer she gets to the fort, and yet we natives call it the fort, Fort William, it's always been the fort to me. The closer she gets, the snow starts. And as she drives, she goes into the driveway, and there's this huge pothole that she doesn't see because it's full of water and snow, and it basically shreds one of the tires, and she can't go any further. So she's got to walk the rest of the way, and it's kind of probably about half a mile. So she walks, and she knocks on the front door of the hotel, but it's all shut up and everything. So she goes round the back, and she sees this other house or building, and it's got lights on, and I don't know why, but she doesn't knock on the door, but she goes and she wants to sort of look in the window and see if he's there. And she climbs up onto these crates and has a look in the window but can't really see very much, and is then confronted by this Highland cow, which she falls off the crates, wallops her head, and causes a bit of a commotion. She is rescued by this girl and this lady in a wheelchair. They get her into the hotel, and they sort of start talking to her, and they're like, who are you? And she doesn't want to give her a real name, so she just stays stum. And they're like, oh, we think she's got concussion, blah blah blah, amnesia, etc. And the granny's going to Effie, the daughter, the young lady is like, you watch too much Casualty. And Fraser comes in and he doesn't recognise her. So we have this, what's she going to do next? And oh, you're going to have to stay the night. You can't not go anywhere. So they then find her a room. And the following morning, the doctor arrives, goes, no, you've got concussion, you can't go anywhere for the next X number of days. And of course, snow's fallen overnight, and it's really, really deep. She's lost her phone. Her phone, when phone fell out of her hand, so they've had to try and find the phone. And she has to try and pretend at the moment she's got amnesia because she's wondering why is he not recognising her. So you have this story going on. But then we add to the mix that other folk have been stranded because of the snow, and the local Bobby, who's a friend of the family, is like, can you take them in? So they end up taking them in, and it's like Olivia starts helping out, like getting the rooms ready, and she becomes very friendly with Effie, and she sort of helps Fraser out a bit in the kitchen. And the more they spend time together, the more she likes him, but she still can't understand why he doesn't recognise her. So you've got all of this woven into one story. It was a quick read, 380 odd pages, and I did it in a day. So it's one of those ones. The pace keeps going, and you keep churning the pages. I liked the characters. I liked Fraser. He was lovely. Olivia was great. I mean, sassy. Wanted to do the right thing. I loved the granny. The granny was funny. Effie was lovely, but at times very naive. As we would say in Scotland, possibly not the sharpest tool in the box, but that's fine. She had a heart of gold. She wanted to do things for people to make it right, to the point that possibly she could have got into trouble if Olivia hadn't stepped in. So we had all of this going, and then there's also the fact that Fraser's trying to open a restaurant, and so you have lots of little side stories going in and around that book, and it's one that you could definitely just cuddle up with for a day, snuggled up, hot chocolate, Christmas lights going, and you'd be lost in the wee world of the hotel near Loch Lochy. So yeah, that was a good one. So I then finished. Well, let's go back to the book. One of the other books I finished. I finished The Cinnamon Bun Cafe by Laurie. Gilmore. Gave this one 4.5 out of 5. This one was a lot spicier than the first one. So be warned, this one is spicier. So we re-meet Hazel, who runs the bookstore. She's really, really happy in there, and but is thinking, well, my 30th birthday's coming up, what have I really done with my life, etc. What am I going to do? I want to sort of spend the last couple of months of my 20s going out with a bang, sort of thing. And she then starts finding these dog-eared books in the romance section that have been highlighted. And she talks to one of the patrons that comes in, Noah. He's a part-time fish. He does fishing tours, etc. And he's like, oh, it's a scavenger hunt. But it's a scavenger hunt and you've got to do the activities. So she's like, well, do you want to do them with me? Just give me some company. And it's the story of them becoming friends, but they're becoming more than friends. But is it just for the period of the 2 months in the scavenger hunt, or can it continue afterwards when she hits her 30th? And it was really, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing her come out of her shell. I enjoyed seeing Noah becoming more settled, which was good. I really liked sort of seeing, although we sort of centred around these two characters, we still got feedback from other characters as well, and we heard what's happening in other characters' lives, which I really, really enjoyed. It was a fun read. I know some folks say, oh, it's got an autumnal cover, and it's not autumnal. It does go through kind of spring right the way through into almost they have Thanksgiving. So yes, there is autumnal in it. So it sort of starts kind of the last wee bit of summer and then into sort of autumny bits. So it was good. It was, I say, it was spicy. I thought the scavenger hunt idea was great. It was like, who's doing it? I did have an inkling, and I was kind of proved right. And I just loved that the whole community came together for her birthday and celebrated with her and celebrated all that she had done and achieved. It was really sweet. I have the third one of this series so far for Christmas, and I'm looking forward to reading it. But because you meet the character for book 3 in this, and I'm like, this is going to be interesting. So yeah, so I'm glad I've read it, really enjoyed it, and that was that one. I then started Wrapped Up in Christmas by Janice Lynn last weekend, but had to put it down in order to start reading the Mistletoe Magic, and it's not due until the middle of November, so I'm actually going to sort of put it on hold until the beginning of November. I just kind of need a wee break. So what have I been reading since I Hear You Cry? Well, I started up Kathy Reichs' Fire and Bones. Yeah, I take the dust jacket off when I read because I just don't like it. Don't like having the dust jacket on when I'm reading. So I'm on chapter 6. So far, so good, interesting. So I'm kind of, where's my bookmark? I'll stick my wee bookmark out a bit more. So I've got that to read. Possibly get some of that read. I'll get quite a bit of that read this weekend. And then I've also started Mistletoe Season, which is by Sheila Roberts, Kathleen Fuller and Pepper Basham. I read the Kathleen Fuller one, loved it. I'm on the Pepper Basham one, really, really enjoying it. I will do a kind of full review of the books once I finish the whole book. But question, guys, if you're reading an anthology like this, do you put the book down, do you put it down as one whole book, or do you split it up when you're like reviewing or when you're like putting it onto Goodreads or whatever? What do you do? I'd love to know. Because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know whether normally if it's a dual bind up, like two stories, I will do it individually. But this is 3. Give me your thoughts. I would love to know. So that's kind of what I've been reading. It was a good week, I have to say. So I'm pleased with that. What else am I going to be doing? What am I doing this weekend? I am going out with my other half this afternoon. Really looking forward to that. That'll be really, really nice. Just going to be nice to spend some time together. He's been away for a while, for a couple of weeks, so it's nice. I always like it. Yes, we're in touch while he's away and stuff. It's not that we're not, but it's just nice to actually physically have him here. It's good that way. And then tomorrow there's rugby on tonight. There's rugby on tomorrow. I will maybe see him finish the second Holly Leaf over the weekend. That'd be nice to do. Maybe start another cross stitch. I'm not sure, or go. There's a big one that I'd started, and I've got another big one that I wanted to start, so I may start one of those, or I might do some more little small ones. I'm not sure yet. I will just see how the mood takes me. I have letters to write. That was like Wednesday. I knew I had pen pal letters to write, and I'm like, I am not in the mood. So maybe the mood will get me tomorrow afternoon, or like Sunday, and I can start writing some letters, which would be really good because the kind of pile is a bit high. I think I've got something like 10 to write. So yeah, and I got some lovely mail, this like pen pal mail this week, which was just delightful. So yeah, so I need to do that. But apart from that, I think that's going to be kind of all. I know I've got a few things I need to start thinking about. I was talking to cousin Sonia, whose channel is Sonia with an I. If you haven't checked her out, go do so. I'll leave her link down below. I was talking to her this week, and she's like, "Oh, my Christmas will be the 1st of November." And I'm like, "Right, okay, you're getting Christmas decorations up then." I'm like, "Right, okay, fine." And I was kind of thinking, now I've got some Christmassy type videos I want to make. Well, 1st of November is maybe a bit early for me, but maybe sort of around about the 8th to the 10th, I might put them up so that like I've got Christmas decor up when I'm doing like some Christmassy themed videos. So I think I might sort of do that. But I have started Christmas prep. I have all the Christmas cards I want to send to people. I know who I want to send to. I have my Christmas present list made. Mum and Dad and I have booked each other for doing Christmas shopping in November. We've got that sorted. We've got those dates in our calendar so they cannot be moved. So that's excellent. Happy with that. So yeah, I am not going, oh, autumn is over. It's not over at all. I'm normally more prepared than I am now. Normally my sort of Christmas prep starts August. And I haven't done it. I'm not panicking. I am not panicking. Luckily, Martin and I took some pressure off ourselves and decided, no, we're not going to do Advent for each other this year. It's just going to be stocking and presents, so that's absolutely fine. And things I had bought him for Advent, I can just put into stocking, so that's great. So it's my one thing is that there are people I want to send to, but postage is so expensive. Our postage has just gone back up, and it's like you're putting it up, and we have a crud postal service. It's like, I just think it's unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable because it's happening elsewhere in the world as well, and I'm just like, give us a service, and I don't mind paying the money, but don't give us a service, and why are you putting stuff up? So I'm not gonna get political. So it's like, I am sort of, there'll be some people who will get a present sent from the UK, but there are others who live overseas who will get it sent from certain online retailer within their country, because it just makes it cheaper for me. I don't have the money to spend, and that's just the way of it. And I know there are a lot of people who are in the same situation, and I know they'll understand, because I just I'm not putting myself in debt. There's just no way. So why am I getting all maudlin? Okay, I can't be getting maudlin. That's not allowed. You didn't come on here to hear that. What I will say though is, that's like, talking of online retailer, I had pre-ordered Sheila Roberts' The Merry Matchmaker, okay? Now this book came out on the 1st of November. No, 1st of October. I tell a lie, 1st of October. And our retailer was like, okay, you will get it for the 23rd of October. I'm like, wait a minute, it came out on the 1st of October. Why am I having to wait? So I thought, right, okay, fine. I then tried to find it elsewhere in indie bookstores within the UK. No, it's not being published here. And I'm like, pardon? It's not being published here. So I reached out to Sheila Roberts, and she's like, what? So come the 23rd, it was due I checked the online. Oh yes, it's going to be delivered by 10 p.m. the 23rd. It hadn't been dispatched yet, and I was checking the day before. I then get this email on the 23rd. Oh, sorry, we're having troubles with your delivery. You won't get it until January 2020. So it's something like the 15th of January 2025 to the 25th of May 2025. I'm like, it's a flippin' Christmas book. It came out on the 1st of October. So I hunted down the publishers, and I sent them a message. Have I received a response to said message? No, I have not. So I think I'm going to have to go to that online retailer, but the USA version, and buy it from there. But this, seriously, the fact that publishers are, as one of the guys that I spoke to, the indie bookseller who managed to get me this one because I wasn't going to get this one till May. He's like, no, if you lived in Germany, you could get it, no problem. but it seems to be that because them down south decided to vote on us coming out of the EU, it's actually it has made things worse for folk who are wanting to get US authors, because they are not bringing over here, which is so frustrating. But hey, that's my rant for today. I hope you don't mind that I've ranted and become a bit maudlin on you. It wasn't my intention, I have to say. I hope that whatever you do this weekend, you have a good time, and that I'm taking a quote from the book that I haven't got, that I was ranting about. Sheila Roberts put a lovely reel out on Instagram, and it's about one of her main characters was saying you have to find joy in the moments. So I hope that this weekend that you find joy in moments, and that you have a lovely weekend. Please come chat with me down in the comments. Have you read any of the books that I've mentioned? Oh, I've got some book mail. Just looked at my wallet over there. So let's do the book mail first, shall we? Jane Porter very kindly sent me The Frog Prince. So it's been republished, rebound and everything. I think she's written a wee bit more to it. So I've got this one for review, which I'm looking forward to. And then I did manage to get this, because it was being published by Mills and Boon. I managed to get One Big Happy Family by Susan Mallory. I am looking forward to this. This is on my list for my Christmas haul. So yes, my Christmas haul's getting bigger. So that's fine. But yeah, please let me know. Come down in the comments, chat with me. Have you read any of the books that I've mentioned? And if so, what did you think of them? I'd love to chat with you about them. What books have you been reading this week, and are you planning to read over the weekend? Do you have any plans for the weekend? I would love to know. But until my next video, keep enjoying the autumn foliage. Go and walk in some leaves if you can. I did that yesterday. I was out somewhere and there were leaves on the street, and I'm afraid I walked through them. If you've been on over to my Instagram, you'll see a picture of my feet buried in leaves. Oh, I just love the rustle and the crunch as you're walking through autumnal leaves. Just so nice. But yeah, enjoy your autumn moments, and enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the week. And I will speak to you next week again. Okay, bye friends.